There are so many advanced maps and fancy ways to get better builds and edits quick, but in reality, the fastest way to improve your mechanics is free building. Free building is the only practice where there are no restrictions apart from your capability. You can adjust the difficulty at any time and replicate the effects of almost any practice map. There's a couple different ways to go about free building depending on what you want to improve. The first way is building on half your sensitivity, also referred to as speed training. You want to take your sensitivity and divide by 2, then free build for about 10 to 15 minutes. When free building, you want to do things that require a lot of arm and wrist movement. You'll be forced to be more efficient with your mouse movement in order to complete edits, and when you switch back to your regular sense, you'll move faster and be more efficient. Destiny Jesus made a video doing this for a week and said he felt improvement in the speed and consistency of his builds as well as his aim. I haven't done speed training consistently, but if you're interested in seeing a video, let me know in the comments. Next is building on slow and fast speed. If you're in your own island, to change the speed, just throw down a movement pad and either raise or lower the speed, switch the time to infinite, and throw down another pad so you can go back to normal speed when you want. If you don't want to do all that, you could just use a map that has speed options for you. I'll leave a few codes in the description. When playing on slow speed, you want to focus on staying as consistent as possible. You have more time to complete builds and edits, so you want to make sure you're using proper technique and keeping tight crosshair placement. You can start off by doing your regular builds until you don't mess up on them anymore, then start doing more advanced moves, typically ones that involve more edits that you wouldn't be able to do consistently on normal speed. Here are a few moves that I do if you don't know where to start. For fast free builds, you want to do whatever builds you're capable of without slowing down. To start, that may only be tunnels or double edits, but as you do it more, you'll see yourself getting more and more comfortable with it. Don't expect to be super consistent starting out because you're meant to mess up here. If you slow yourself down so you can hit your edits, it defeats the purpose. Keep running into your wall until you're fast enough to get through it on full speed. I don't have any moves to show you because I just make up mine as I go, but if you just do what you're capable of and build on top of it, you should see progress quick. Last but not least, we have regular free building. There's a couple different ways you could go about it, but there's 2 rules you need to follow if you actually want to improve. First is to build with intent. There needs to be purpose behind your free building. If you just load up a map and start free building for 30 minutes but have no idea what you're looking to improve, you're not going to get better. You need to go into free building with a plan or idea of what you want to work on and practice that until you get it down or at least close. When I was learning new moves, I spent 10 minutes on each move uninterrupted and fully focused. It wasn't the most fun I had on the game, but it helped me improve at a faster rate. The next rule is to push yourself to do things you aren't comfortable with. If you never step outside your comfort zone, you won't grow and improve, and that applies anywhere. This doesn't mean you have to copy some crazy retakes or pro builds. Take the builds you already know and increase the difficulty of them. Try to move faster while staying consistent, add more builds and edits to it, do it in the opposite direction, anything that adds a degree of difficulty. I used to make what I call waiting edits, which were edits that were quick to make, but my character still has to walk a couple steps before I can make my next edit, buying me time in between edits because I'm not the fastest editor. By eliminating those edits, I was forced to increase my edit speed in order to complete my builds, which leads me to the first way that you can free build, and that's to spam edits. I'm not talking about these spam edits, I'm talking about doing moves that constantly have you editing. This simulates the same effects of an edit course, but allows you to be free in choosing whatever moves you feel like doing, so be creative with it. I'll show you a couple moves that I like doing. The next type of free building is piece controlling. You may notice when the pro free builds, they're doing all their regular builds, but they're also incorporating some piece control moves. In game, you won't have a tunnel or stationary bot to build up to and plan your route to piece them. You have to be ready to make the move whenever the opportunity comes, which is why it's good to add these into your free builds. You can make these moves up yourself, copy some concepts from piece control maps, or do what I did starting off, which was trying moves from Razor464's video showing off 57 different piece control drills while free building. I'll cover a few moves that I do to improve my piece control, increasing in difficulty. Triple A downs are simple but effective, so I'm sure to practice those. Practicing side jump catches is also important because if you mess up these, you could miss out on a lot of damage or a free kill. You can do this with a stair or a cone, just make sure you're hiding behind the angle while doing it. On this drill, you can add whatever you think is necessary depending on the position of your opponent, but wide edits are okay here because you should be hiding behind the stair after making this edit. This drill is super useful for me because I wall replace from this angle pretty often, so practicing this edit a lot has helped. I just made this up while making this video, but it's my favorite drill now. You can place the cone under the wall just like you see Polarized doing fights all the time. Then to add the extra move, you can edit a wall and slide the cone as if the player was trapped in the cone and went to drop down. One thing I'm practicing a lot right now is piecing from windows. I watch one of my friends' montages who does that really well and know that will help improve my fighting once I get it down. Speaking of watching and applying new things, the last way to improve from free building is to add new moves into your builds. When watching pros, montages, or streams, pay attention to the builds they're doing. It doesn't have to be anything complicated either. It could be as simple as this wall edit into the stair flip. Just something different from your regular builds to improve your building dexterity. Practice that move until you can do it somewhat consistently, then free build while incorporating the move you just learned until it comes naturally. I do this all the time, and my favorite example is from Jerky. His crosshair movement is so efficient in this clip, so when I went to replicate it, I didn't only copy his builds, but the way he moved his crosshair as well. It helped me understand why connecting edits is so important, which I cover in my crosshair guide video. I'll go through a few builds I learned from pros so you don't have to go searching around for them yourself. I learned that last move from watching a ranked video by Polarized. He posts and streams frequently, so he's my go-to when looking for new moves to copy. I even copied his routine for a week, which you can watch right here. Like and subscribe, I'll catch you later.